Hi, Summer.
Oh, hi, Lauren. I was thinking about our Wicked Problem presentation, and I was thinking about the differences and the similarities about the issue of privilege from the past and of modern day.
I've been thinking the same thing. I wonder what privilege is like during the 18th century France, during the time of the French Revolution, when social hierarchies played a huge role in determining someone's fate.
Maybe we could interview two of the characters from the Diamond Necklace Affair.
That sounds great. We could do Madame du Barry and who else?
What about Nicole D'Oliva-Legay?
Perfect! But wait, aren't they dead? How are we gonna call them?
From the past, we take you back. Come alive on the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh my, did someone summon me?
I believe so. Are you Madame du Barry?
Yes, I am. What do you want?
I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
That's fine.
Tell me a little bit about your background.
I was a poor commoner trying to succeed in these hard times when social class was the most important aspect of life. As Louis XV's longest reigning mistress, I had become a rival to many because of people's jealousy over a commoner who has ascended to the top. I can relate to the common woman, being one myself in my earlier days, and being an inspiration to anyone trying to rise to the top.
Wow, you really overcame the social injustice that many people faced during your time period. If I may ask you another question, I was wondering about your view on privilege in society.
I empathize with the commoners because I was once in their shoes. However, I believe privilege is what you make out of the opportunities you are presented. I was in very low social standing and decided to take the opportunity to be a mistress of the king, which worked out in my favor. Being completely honest, I definitely became more privileged when I became in close relations with King Louis XV, as he presented me with wealth and high social standing. I am extremely grateful for the opportunities that the king provided me with, because he brought me up from a commoner to someone much more. I view my opportunity to be in close romantic with the king as my privilege, as not everyone in society has this equal opportunity.
Wow, excellent answer. What was your relationship like with other people in society?
Before I became a mistress of the king, I was a commoner and was in good standing with many people in our society. However, after I became a mistress and was granted wealth and high social status, everyone began to hate me. The queen strongly disliked me because she viewed me as a bleep and that I was just sleeping around with her husband. But what she did not understand was that we had a serious mutual relationship. It is honestly very unfair because everyone in society looked down upon and hated me because I was a woman and they viewed me as lesser than. However, the king was still praised and pampered because he was a man. This also relates to my view on privilege in society. Being a man, you are given much more privilege and not expected as much from. Whereas if you are a woman, you are expected to do whatever the men want and frankly can't make life decisions on your own. Men are given much more leniency when it comes to sexual relations and mistresses.
I totally understand what you are saying. Thank you again for your time. I will let you get back to your rest.
Okay, talk to you later. Goodbye.
Hey Lauren, I just talked to Madame du Barry and I talked to her about her opinions on privilege. It was very enlightening. Now I think we should summon Nicole D'Oliva-Legay.
Okay, sounds good.
From the past, we take you back. Come alive on the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hello, Nicole D'Oliva-Legay. Are you there?
Hello? Yes? Why have I been awakened?
I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions. Let's start out with a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Nicole D'Oliva-Legay, but I'm more commonly known as the Baroness d'Olivia. Going back into my childhood, I was placed in a children's home where I was mistreated, abused, and my education was neglected due to the loss of both my mother and father when I was at a very young age. The owner of the children's home had kept very important information from me about my family and the will that my father had left me, so I really did not have any money to survive on my own. I ended up running away and I found myself alone in Paris with no food, money, or shelter. This ultimately led to my decision to start doing prostitution because I did not have any other way to provide for myself. As I got older, I became an advocate for women's rights and education because I did not want young girls to have a life similar to one that I suffered.
Wow, I'm sorry that you had such a difficult upbringing, but it is amazing that you persevered and found a way to use your painful experience and to turn it into something to benefit society. Moving along, what is your view about privilege in your society?
Coming from myself, someone who has never experienced material privilege in her entire life, I view privilege as the opportunities you take in which you are presented with. Personally, I have never had money, wealth, or a high social status, which are all many key factors which are associated with privilege. However, I view all of those things as materialistic versions of privilege. I believe that if you rely on your life circumstances to provide your privilege, then you're never going to be happy. Whereas if you make the best of your experiences and your situation that you're presented with, this can be viewed as your privilege. Although I never had a family, I had the greatest experience working with young girls and motivating them and providing them somewhat of a mother-like figure. I never had a mother figure growing up and always mourned for that connection. I view my privilege as my opportunity to work with these young girls and provide them a sense of belonging and hope that they will have a better life than I did.
Wow, that was very touching and inspiring. I was wondering about your relationships with others in society.
Many people in society look down upon me because I'm a prostitute, but what people do not understand is that I have honestly worked harder than most. And I am much more mentally drained than you can imagine. Being a prostitute was not my job of choice, but it was my only job that I could have for my life circumstances and not having an education. I was not able to find a proper job or any other sort to support myself. I did not have a family, so I was not able to set up an arranged marriage. Many people in our society have much more material privilege than I do, especially men. Just being a man during the 18th century automatically brings your social status up just a few notches. Being a woman, it is very difficult to find a job and honestly do anything without the help of a man.
Thank you so much for your time. I will let you get back to rest.
Okay, talk to you later. Goodbye.
Hey, Summer.
Hey, Lauren. How was your interview with Nicole Olivia Lagai?
It was really good. I really understand how privilege is not about material wealth, but what you do with the opportunities presented to you.
Yeah, that is very similar to what Madame du Barry said. They both have very similar views on privilege in the way that they believe it is what one makes out of their opportunity. However, they also have some differences.
Connecting to modern day, the wicked problem of privilege that was prevalent in the 18th century of France is very similar to the issues of today.
I totally agree. The wicked problem of privilege in the 18th century is very similar to that of today's world because of the drastic social classes. In modern day, there are three main social classes: the poor or the homeless, the middle class, and the rich. In 18th century France, there were three social classes, but it was mainly divided into two, which was the rich and then the commoners.
These divisions between classes caused the issue of privilege to be even more prevalent within society because of the differences between natural-born privilege each class received.
All in all, what we learned today from both of our interviews totally supports our thesis that the wicked problem of privilege is an ongoing issue that our society, as it was clearly prevalent in the 18th century in a similar ways that it is today.
Agreed. From our interviews, we learned that privilege can be somewhat solved by trying to get rid of the social hierarchy by creating more equal opportunity in society, as well as addressing it in early ages instead of hiding the fact that it is a prevalent issue.
Thank you for watching our presentation.